Hi everybody, it's Ruth. So I'm back. It's been almost 3 months post-transplant, and I wanted to make this video kind of just to help other people who are probably going to go through this process, to kind of have I guess kind of just to have like a personal experience to reference to. These are just my opinions. This was just my experience based on like, what happened to me. And, everybody's different. Everybody's reactions are different. So I just want to make that clear. Okay, before I start. So last video was right before I was wheeled into the operation room. And basically, I was very emotional. Like I was crying. I had just prayed with my pastor and also with my husband. And I was just like, oh my God, somebody's about to stick a knife in me. I haven't even met this person. Oh my God. So they wheel me into the operation room and I'm wiping my tears. I'm just telling myself like, okay, yes, somebody's gonna slice into you, but you need to get it together because either way, the surgery is happening. You need to have the surgery. So suck it up. Here we go. So they wheel me into the operation room and I'm wiping my tears or whatever, and everybody's trying to make me comfortable. Like, hey, you can relax. Trust me, nothing's gonna happen to you. So I meet the staff. It's like 15 people in there. Anesthesiologist who I met a couple hours ago, who had me sign some papers. Who else? Just like a ton of people. I don't even remember off the bat. And I just remember being very adamant that I was like, please remember to take pictures of my lungs because I really want to have a picture of my old lungs and stuff like that. Because I mean, I've lived with them my whole life. I know it's weird. I know a lot of people would be like, why would you want to keep your lungs? But I don't know. It's kind of just like for memory. Like I would like to see what they look like in comparison to like normal lungs. I know it's creepy, but that was just like one of my things. I just really wanted to like have a picture of my lungs, which I never got. They promised me that they would take a picture. The lady promised me personally that she would take the picture, and they did not. They said that, with all the things that were going on, they didn't get to. So yeah, I didn't get to meet the surgeon before we started the operations, but I did get to meet all the other people, and they told me individually who they were and what they were gonna do, and they were really nice and stuff. And yeah, after about 30 minutes, I think they had me change. I saw the little triangle thingy that they make you lay back on, and remember that when you do the operation, they like pull your arms back, and like this is a position that they have you in on the metal table for like 12 hours. So that contributes to a lot of discomfort, back pain, and chest pain later on after the surgery, because they have to stretch you out like this so that they can be able to work, right? To do the surgery. So after 30 minutes, they put me to sleep. So he was like, just count, just relax. They put the, anesthesia mask on me. I don't know what they call it, but they put it on me, and he's like, relax, and I'm praying. And he's like, count, and I'm like, no, I'm praying. Lord God, please help me to wake up. Lord God, please help this to go the right way. So yeah, next thing I remember, I don't remember like having any dreams or visions or anything like that. I don't know. I don't remember, but I do remember waking up. A lot of people don't. I know a lot of people say they have ICU delirium. I don't think I did, because I remember most of my ICU experience, although it might be like a little bit blurry because I was tired or not really paying attention to everything. But for the most part, I remember what was going on. So, I remember waking up I remember the nurse was there, and I think somebody from the respiratory team. I don't remember. I think it was probably 2 or 3 people in the room. I don't remember how much people were in the room, but I would say 2 or 3. I do remember waking up. She was like, okay, can you hear me? Do you know where you are? Just asking me a couple questions just to see if I was like alert. And I'm like, yes, I know where I am. I know what's going on. I'm starting to remember I had a surgery and that I'm waking up and that I need to relax, and obviously very uncomfortable with the vent down my throat, with the ventilator down my throat. So she's like, okay, we're gonna extubate. And I'm like, okay. So they do that like right away, within like a couple minutes. So she goes ahead, she tells me to cough. They basically coach you to do the whole thing. And she tells me to cough, she pulls it out. Okay, no problem. Some relief, right? And she's like, how do your new lungs feel? Don't you feel great? And I'm like, no, She's like, how do you feel? I was like, I feel like I've been hit by a bus. So I'm like whispering because, you know, you just had something down your throat, you know, just like I'm getting used to talking, and I'm just like, I don't feel, I don't feel like I, you know, everybody's laughing. It's like, you have your new lungs, congratulations, and I'm just like, yeah. So I guess it was a moment of victory. At least I made it through the surgery, but yeah, I had a couple rough days after that. So basically you wake up feeling very crappy. You feel like they tell you that before, if you have like preparation classes. I know at the hospital where I was, which was Duke University Hospital, they have you go through rehab and they have you take classes, and they tell you that you're gonna feel really bad. And I did. I felt like I had been run over with a semi truck. Like I just felt like crappy. I did not feel like good at all. I just felt tired, like I wanted to go back to sleep. Like my body just really, really needed to rest, even though I had been sleeping for like, who knows how long. I think they woke me in at 5. They woke me in the afternoon. I would say like 5, 6 o'clock. And then they woke me up like, I think the next afternoon. So yeah, it was like a lot of, I was sleeping for a long time and I still felt crappy. So yeah, the nurses were moving around. Basically the first couple of days, I felt like a science experiment. They're checking. I'm connected to a whole bunch of wires, a whole bunch of machines. I have 4 IVs. Like, it's intense. You have an IV in your neck. For I think like the first 2 or 3 days, the first couple of days, you have a IV, like right here. And what else? Just like a bunch of wires, like IVs and stuff connected to all the IV machines. And basically they're like checking your levels. The nurses start checking your levels. They're drawing blood from these IVs and they're just making sure that everything is balanced. So it's like, you know, if your calcium is low, if your vitamin A, your vitamin B, all your vitamins are correct, that your blood sugar is in control, that, you know, they're just checking everything, trying to make sure that you are, you know, just that they're just on top of everything, which, you know, I mean, you can't go anywhere. You know, they just keep saying stuff, something new, something new, something new. You're just like, okay, just keep pumping me with stuff. And I'm just like, hey, I'm just laying there, letting them do whatever they gotta do. So yeah, that's, yeah. So it was definitely fun going to the bathroom. It was definitely fun going to the bathroom. And you go to the bathroom, yeah, you need help. You need like 2 or 3 people to help you go to the bathroom because there's just that much wires. They have to move the machines around. Like, it literally, I would say it takes 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes for them to prepare you to actually be able to go to the bathroom. So if you need to go to the bathroom, say something early because they're gonna have to get you ready. Don't wait till the last minute, be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. No, it's gonna take a while for them to set up all the machines and position them just right so you can be able to use the bathroom. Same thing for when you go take a walk. I was able to take my walk at the first day that they woke me up. So if you look on the YouTube channel, you'll see first steps, first walk. It's very short, but I mean, okay, I asked one of the nurses to do it. She didn't even flip the phone around. You take what you could get, okay? I'm sorry that it looks like that, and that is so short, but she was like, oh, here you go. You got your first couple steps, so take your phone back. And you know, I didn't feel good, so I was just like, okay, at least like I got something for my family and friends that I can send to them. And then I posted it for you guys so you guys can see some of the contraptions and the feeding tube and all that stuff that, you know, just to have a general idea of how much, you know, goes into you going to take a walk or you using the bathroom or just you being able to move around in general. So yeah, I walked 1 lap, which they said was really good. The first day, it was exhausting and I had to wear a mask and the mask was very hot and it was hard to breathe because I'm trying to get used to my lungs. So yeah, some people wake up and they say they feel amazing, they feel great, they just automatically feel great. I'm not one of those people. I felt like crap, like I wanted my old lungs back. I was like, forget it, go reverse it, it's all right, I'll go back to my CF life. I know it's sad to say, and I shouldn't say that, but at that time, that's just how I felt. I'm just being honest. You know, I was like, thank you, God, for this opportunity, but I need you to make these new lungs work for me because I am just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. So, hey, I hated my feeding tube most of all. I complained about it all the time. Every time they gave me my medications every time, because I mean, you can't eat anything that they gave me that was cold. I could feel the food going down the tube, and I was just like, I don't like this. And I felt like I was choking on it, and it was just very, very uncomfortable. And I had mine for how long did I have it? I had it for a while. I would say like maybe 2 weeks, because of COVID. They weren't doing the swallow test as frequently. Basically, the swallow test is when they take you for a test and they have you swallow different liquids of different density, like just plain juice, plain water. Then they have you drink like a thick shake, and they see if you can swallow correctly without the fluid going into your lungs or going where they're not supposed to go, because your food is supposed to just go down to your digestive tract. So they're just trying to make sure that the food is going the right place, because for some people after surgery, they're not swallowing their food correctly, and that can go into their lungs, and we don't want food going to our lungs because food has bacteria as well. So, and drinks, especially if you're not drinking sterile water, will have bacteria that you don't want in your lungs, and you don't want to get any infections that will lead to rejection. So yeah, so that's really important. So everything with the swallow test was very slow. I took it the first time, I passed. I think after like maybe like 8 days, day 8 I took it. But then I had to go in for a second surgery, which I will get to in a second. So I ended up having my feeding tube longer than I probably should have, because of the setback that I had, which I'll get to. But yeah, as the days went on, I just had a harder time breathing. I don't know why, but I just had a hard time breathing. I felt like I was congested. Like I just felt like these lungs weren't for me. I felt like there was something terribly wrong. I was praying all the time. I was nervous all the time. I was anxious all the time. I just felt like I was just like suffocating, and I just need to learn how to breathe, because I had cystic fibrosis for so long. I guess my body and I was just used to breathing shallow breaths, and just my body had just learned how to cope with my crappy lungs. So because my body had learned to cope with my crappy lungs, when I got these new lungs, I was not used to having to take deep breaths, and I was not used to and I was also having a lot of pain as well. So that contributed to it. And so yeah, everybody's different. For some people, they feel great right away. From my experience, I did not feel great right away, unfortunately. And I had to have a second surgery to help me with that. But of course, it was like a routine surgery. It wasn't, anything super bad. So yeah, my first week was pretty bad, I would say. So I was able to kind of push through the pain, and I was able to kind of push through the pain and feeling like I was able to breathe up until day 6, and then after that it was like no baby. I had a BiPAP next to my bed to help me, which they would have me use sometimes when my CO2 was low for like a couple hours, or for like a little bit. But then by day 6, day 7, I had that baby on most of the time. Day 7, I had it on all day. Like they were like, do you want to take it off? The doctor came in, he was like, well, take off the mask so we can talk. I was like, I took it off, I answered one question, and I put it right back on. He was like, you really feel bad, huh? I was like, I feel like I cannot breathe. And I was so embarrassed, but I felt like I could not breathe to have the conversation with him. So, I mean, but that's what it was. So, I was able to walk up to 4 laps per day up until that time. But I think by day 6, day 7, when they came in, they were like, you're on the BiPAP, can you take it off? And I was like, no. And that's how they knew that something was up, because every time they came in, morning, noon, night, it didn't matter. I was like, let's walk. I was always up for it, because I know from rehab, that's really super important. So please make sure that you tune in for part 2 of this video, where I continue to talk about the rest of my experience after the second surgery. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.